Turn the ding off.
There.
Now we're
This
live.
is live, and these notification sounds are off. Turn that
Damn ding. Mr.
Right.
Jingles, shut up.
right now. Turning it right off. All right, Eric, what's up, man?
Not much. Just ready to podcast.
It's nice. Are you using any Apple products there to podcast? You got like your nice iMac running. What is that? Garage Tools, Mom's Mint Pro version 3. All right. Here's an intro that Eric made.
For centuries, we've been warned about little green men.
Now, they are coming. They're coming for you. Prepare for the attack of the android.
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's Tuesday, September 23rd, 2014. This is episode 136 of Attack of the Androids. Most every week, right here live. I'm Matt, and that's Eric. What's up, Eric?
I'm living the dream. It's a
Aren't we
wonderful
all?
day.
Aren't we all?
No.
I try not to dream at night so that I can actually get some rest because I'm up all day just living the dream.
Just dreaming.
Life
is so exhausting.
with my Moto X, just living the dream.
Guess
So-
who also has a Moto X?
Oh.
Not me.
Oh. Okay. Who?
No, not me. I just got off the phone right before the show with Motorola.
Oh. They
and,
have. Yeah.
They have Moto X's.
Yeah.
I have
yeah.
a message for them too.
Ooh.
It's that.
Ooh. It's a little visual for the audio listeners.
Go to the video, folks. You'll see what I'm saying. I ordered.
Was that a
What's
tweet? Because that was a bird. Was that a tweet?
Yes, it was my little Tweety bird. One of our first stories for today is that the new Moto X, if you made it through Moto Maker, that those are now shipping. Now I sent another tweet out into the world aside from this one, asking if other people have had the same problem that I have, which is that Motorola put my order on hold for over a week and then just unceremoniously canceled it. So that's awesome.
Just like you didn't actually call them and be like, "Hey, can you cancel that order? Because I found a better phone. I went with the iPhone 6. So just go ahead and cancel that order. Thanks."
It wasn't an iPhone 6 order, though. I mean, I wish that I could do that because I called them 4 times in the past week, and they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, your billing address is different than their shipping address. We're gonna have a special team look at this."
Ooh, yeah, because that's, as we all know, that's a red flag.
Big red flag.
That's right.
And so much of a red flag that my bank didn't even flag it. So I don't know. I'm very upset. And I can't. They said, "Oh, well, just go on the site and reorder it, and we'll give you your money back for the original one in I don't know, maybe like 5 business days. When we feel like it, we'll give you your money back." So yeah, Motorola, you're awesome. But if you're one of the lucky few with your leather-backed Moto X, it might be in the mail now. Maybe.
How pissed would a bunch of people be if they ended up getting like the old Moto X's by mistake? Like Motorola just shipped out all of the old ones that they still had in stock instead of actually getting people their nice new Moto X's.
It wouldn't surprise me. It would be almost as if Google were still in charge.
Whoa!
It kind of felt like a Google launch because the website didn't work, and they put my order on hold, and then at the end of the day, they never ended up shipping me anything.
You know, I kind of have.
It really is like a Google order.
I kind of have to agree with MB in the chat there. I'm detecting a little residual Q anger seething out of here.
That's what it is. No, I just feel. I feel like the girl who won't get. Nobody will ask her to prom, or the boy.
Eric?
Hmm.
Will you go to the prom with?
Hell no.
Ah,
Get a job, you hippie.
what?
What? I don't know.
I only ask because. Okay.
No,
Well,
it's okay.
hopefully, hopefully they'll get this worked out. These bugs ironed out there,
Let's.
and everything
Just
will
out
be
of
well.
curiosity, go to the Moto
Sure.
Roller website. Try to build one, because like I go there and I can't even bring up Moto Maker. Like this website is so buggy.
At all. I'd like to,
No, it
but I'm
won't come up.
afraid it would just drop Hangouts or something. So I'm gonna go
Yeah,
ahead.
don't do that.
I'm gonna not, but I definitely encourage all of you listening to go to the MotoMaker website. What is it? Motomaker.com? Motorola.com/MotoMaker?
No, let's try
Moto-
motomaker.com.
Is that it? That'd be pretty terrible if
yeah.
it wasn't, right? If it was some like cross-site scripting vulnerability that just hijacked all of your. Oh, that'd be awesome.
No, I mean it has the Motorola logo and it says you're being hacksored. Thank you.
It says, "Thank you. All your base are now our base."
Everybody should just go order a Moto X and then call them up and cancel it and say they're getting iPhones.
And in the comments, because there's always like a little comment memo section there on the order or whatever, just put for Eric.
For Eric.
Hashtag-
Solidarity.
Hashtag I am Eric. That was so great.
That's good. I need everybody to change their Twitter icons to black.
That's
Or
right.
Black and then get out. It's done.
Hashtag I am Eric.
I'm Eric.
I am Eric. Awesome. So I've been reading a couple reviews here and there, and so far people are like, and kind of what they said about the last one, that like this is a really awesome phone. I saw a couple headlines, and like I'm an Android fan just like you and everyone else that uses it, but I keep seeing it called the best Android phone out there, which I mean I have the Moto X and I love it. As far as the best though, I mean that's kind of putting it up. I feel like you can't choose the best because there's so many different use cases and everything. Like to say this is the one, it's the one I would pick for sure. But to make that statement as like, I don't know, it seemed kind of not link baity, but like flame stokey, you know, fanboy flame stokey.
Yeah. I mean I get what you're saying. Like everybody's a little different. I think what people are trying to say about this is that it's like the lowest common denominator, if that makes sense. Like you might have something that's like really really good at cameras and something that's really really good at audio. This is the all-purpose general. I can recommend this phone to a friend.
Ah, it's the phone a friend phone.
It's a phone a friend phone.
I like it.
It's
a good phone.
And that seems to be like the couple of reviews that I've come across too. Like one in particular, I think it was on Twit. It was before you buy, and they were talking about that very same thing. And the reviewers had said that it was a great phone. Loved the first Moto X, but like this one, the build quality is just so much nicer. The processor, obviously the processor is nicer than the first gen, but even if you look at the processor of the first gen when it was released compared to all of the other processors at the time, and then compare that to all the other processors released that are around now, like
Right.
they're not going for that lower middle range this time. Like their sights are a little higher.
And it also seemed like, too, before you had to almost throw as much processing and RAM at Android as you could to get it to feel almost as smooth as the iPhone. Remember, that was like one of the big things was
Sure.
like, look at the scrolling. Look at the scrolling. It's so natural. And I feel like now, like at the time that these devices are coming out, you don't have to do that because Android has been so fine-tuned over the years of each iteration getting better with what it's using as far as resource consumption and everything like that. You don't need to like come out and hammer it with like an octa-core to make a really decent phone,
Yeah.
I think it's just the timing, right? Like if the Moto X came out when the OG Droid first came out, or something like that, it would be the same story. It would be like, oh, this is just it's just another, this isn't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
So good
Well,
device. I would definitely recommend it for sure.
if you can get your hands on one,
True. I'll
use
recommend
mom's credit card.
I'll recommend it next year after everyone already used their upgrade
Perfect.
on their new Galaxy S Note 4, 5, or whatever.
I think I saw that this week you can use Moto Maker for Verizon phones now too. So even that's an option for folks if their contract is up, they don't have to buy like the standard like white or black one.
So I wonder if that enables the 32 gig model then, because before there was only the 16 on Verizon. Because is that something that's an option in Moto Maker, is it not? Like where you can pick between which one, and they bust you in the behind for like an extra $1.20 just for the 16 gig boost.
Yeah, it's $50, but you can upgrade from 16 to 32, which I think is like a no-brainer, necessary update or upgrade. I think you've talked about it before. 16 gigs on a phone, that's difficult, even with the power of the cloud. Like that is very difficult.
It is. I definitely, when I got my new Moto X, my second, not new, but my second first gen Moto X, I was more conscious about what I was installing on it. I was like, because I had a whole bunch of stuff just from reviewing things and just things that I'm like, I used once and then like never used again. So I was more heady in what I was putting back on there. And I have quite a bit of space, but the more I use Google Music, the more my Beyond Pod updates podcasts, and I don't listen to them, they stack up. It goes away real quick.
Oh yeah.
Real quick.
Even on my 32, I keep getting alerts like you don't have enough space on your phone. So I mean the only downside that I see is I kind of wish, I know it was kludgy, but I still miss having micro SD slots on phones.
Yeah. It was nice because that was still like when we were kind of not used to carrying around CD cases, but I would carry around a few different SDs depending on what I needed, and I had some for my old Nintendo DS and everything. So it was like, it was still commonplace to carry something like that around, but now it's like all you have is your phone and that's it.
Yep.
Would be nice to switch out a few 64 gig cards here and there though.
Yes, sir.
So, let's see. Oh, are we going to learn how to make our own custom launcher?
We are. It's very exciting.
Can we make this back of the Android's launcher?
I was thinking about that actually when I tagged this story. Is how can we make an Attack of the Androids launcher? Like, what would happen?
I think
what are your ideas?
You would press home and it would force close, and then that's it. And it'd be like, joke's on you. Ah.
I really like that idea.
And while it's doing that, of course, it's siphoning all of your passwords and credit card information and whatnot. Nobody's ever going to install an app that we make.
Hey, come on, they might. I'm thinking like every icon becomes that generic green Android icon, and then no titles. You just have to guess what icon you're pressing, and randomly, like Russian roulette, randomly it will crash your launcher.
Every like set time N plus. That would be so awesome.
We can do a timer, sure. I was thinking like you swap the icons around, but people don't know, so this Chrome is never in the same place twice.
That's good too, and I would also make it so that it's touch sensitive. There's a certain spot on the screen that when you tap it, it will crash, and then when it crashes, it picks a different spot, and so you never know. But every now and then you tap something and it just crashes.
These are all great ideas.
All beautiful ideas.
If you have good ideas, you can go over to XDA Developers, click on the link that's in the show notes, and there's a nice, nearly 30-minute tutorial. The person's taking you through, I think it's Eclipse, if I remember right, taking you through Eclipse and create your own custom launcher. which is kind of, I mean, it's kind of cool. I love seeing these things because it can be a little difficult, especially if you've never done any programming before, to jump into this sort of thing. So these videos, they're nice. They give you the base for what you need to make a launcher.
Yeah, I like it. I like what's
Um,
happening in the chat room right now too.
Yeah, so you should really join in at the Attack the Androids chat because
I was gonna
there
say,
is some really really stupid conversation happening right now.
no, that's a good idea. You could actually make it when you hit the home button. You just make it wipe the phone. Be done.
Yes, you hit it in a certain sequence and it installs iOS 8.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I'm really really happy for this.
That's good. Well, I'm excited to see a onslaught of useless launchers on the Play Store soon.
Perfect. Go out there, please.
Let's have a contest. We'll see who can get the least amount of downloads and 1 star, the most 1 star. It'd have to be the most downloads and 1 star ratings, right?
Okay, yeah, most downloads, 1-star ratings.
That would make it harder, right? Because you need to get people to download it.
And you have to have the phrase "Attack of the Androids" in your launcher name.
Right. And it has
So
to
we
crack.
can recognize it. If it does not crash, we will
Make
not.
it blue. Could you just like flash a Microsoft that would be jarring on your oh man.
Yes.
That's
Clippy
awesome.
needs to show up on the screen and then straight to blue screen.
Clippy comes out, gives you the finger, and then blue screen. That would be good. Goat Simulator out for Android.
Baby.
Doing very well in its first week alive. Now, for those of you not familiar with the Goat Simulator, Eric, are you familiar with the Goat Simulator?
I'm familiar enough. I first saw this when I was watching. It was some podcast and they were talking about secrets in Goat Simulator. Look at that majestic beast. They're talking about secrets in Goat Simulator to where like you can, take your goat up on a mountain or a hill and make other goats follow it, and have that goat kill the other goats, and then he magically gets the demon goat powers.
That's pretty epic. I mean, that is an epic in and of itself.
This game seems, I mean, it's ridiculous, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, right? It's one of those just internet things. Goats. I don't know why. I think because maybe a lot of nerds might not be so healthy, so they're all into the whole goat milk thing. So goats is like a meme for them. I don't know.
I'm thinking not, but
okay.
This is a good deal because if you get it for the computer, for a PC it's $9.99. So if you have a Nexus 10 or like a bigger, like a Nexus 7, like a big tablet, I think this would work. I'm not so sure about on your phone. That does not seem like a fun experience. But, or if you're one of those silly people with an iPhone, it's also available on iPhone.
Is it? That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that 100,000 number is for combined between the two platforms.
Oh. Somebody I read in one of the comments said something about $500,000 in a week or something like that. Like wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's because it's what? Oh, 100,000 and it's $5 a pop, right? Makes sense.
Math.
And you just go FS up, and that's it.
Pretty much. And let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. So here are some bullet points describing Goat Simulator for the uninformed and uninitiated.
Ooh, good.
Number 1, you can be a goat. Number 2, you get points for wrecking stuff, and you can become the alpha goat. Number 3, there are millions of bugs.
Now, are we talking about in the game to destroy, or actually in the code of
in the code? The developers say that they're only eliminating crash bugs because everything else is hilarious. So,
Wow, that's interesting though too, right? A little ghost in the machine to get your entropy going. I mean, that's good.
And so I'm getting this from there's an Android Central article about the launch of Goat Simulator, and one of the last points is that the in-game physics, just go ape shit every once in a while, and they have a picture of this thing running on their Moto X. This goat's neck its head is twisted like almost all the way around.
Oh
So
dear, Exorcist
this is
goat.
Exorcist goat. I'm sure it's a feature. And he's floating above the ground in some sort of construction yard.
Well, sure, Exorcist goats are known to float.
I'm digging this, and I think that I'm going to have to get it.
Hey, whatever floats your goat, Eric.
Oh my God!
See what I did there?
I'm in awe. The chat room's going nuts over it. They love it.
We all should be. In awe. All right. Let's see what else. Google Play now requiring their devs to have an actual address, not just a PO box, a PO box anymore.
PO box.
Which, I mean, to eliminate shady, scammy apps, because people like that are producing malware or injecting into the Play Store like that are not going to want to put a physical address that's theirs or something. I don't know.
It seems like the from all the articles that I've read, this is not Google being proactive to get rid of scammy apps. They're doing this to comply with an EU law. And I'm guessing the EU law is related to that, which is to, if Matt Lee makes an awesome launcher app that steals everything out of my PayPal account, that
I'll go to his
it can be
house.
traced back to Matt Lee.
I'm going to find his address on Google Maps.
Exactly.
I'm going to make a public map. I'm going to point it out. I'm going to put his phone number on there, and I'm going to tell everybody to go kick his door in.
Pretty much.
And tell him
Now,
how you +1 that app.
I can see where some developers would be a little hesitant to do this. I don't know. For example, if you had somebody like Mojang, not his name wasn't Mojang, Notch, that made Minecraft, and if he had to put his personal address, there's enough crazy people out there that they could try to hack Google, find some sort of vulnerability, and get his home address. So I totally get that, you may want to put a P.O. box. That's why you're not shouting out your personal address on the jam hole.
No, that's true. We use a P.O. box, 3652, Kalispell, Montana, 59903. Send us stuff. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
People send us some weird stuff. I'll tell you, in the 6 or 7 years that show has been happening, the internet sends really weird stuff. Some cool stuff, for sure. I've gotten some really cool stuff in the mail. But, yeah, I'd definitely be wary.
Yeah, you don't want somebody sending, severed goat head to your house.
No, definitely not.
Send it to the U.S. Post Office.
This is the thing, like you said, that the EU said that it specifically states the geographical location of the business is needed as far as your business as a developer. So what MB says in the chat is that it's not all, it's for devs, not just people, not just me and you. All devs.
No, it's just for developers. And as far as I can tell, it's for all developers. It's for developers, free and paid. You create an account, you have a developer account with the Play Store, and you have to provide a physical address. Now, this does not. I don't this won't go into effect until September 30th. So, the article is saying that Google may in the next 5 days come out with some more guidance or something like that indicates that only certain people need to do it, but at this point, all information points to all devs providing a physical address.
Maybe Google will provide them with their own address, like a vanity, real-world address.
Well, some people have thrown out there if all devs just provided the same physical address, it sort of makes this a moot point. which I think would be funny.
That would be awesome, but I'm sure there's some sort of verification that makes. I mean, yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
you couldn't put like 123 Main Street, but like if everybody put the White House, like you could do that, or if everybody put your, you know, I don't know, pick what's another landmark.
Do you think then that would like auto trigger a whole bunch of verification mails to go to the White House before anybody caught it and was like, "Oh, turn this off." The internet just banded together and gave us the finger. that
Possibly.
would be crazy. It would be like one of those reflection attacks where you just like send it and it's like, psh.
Well, this guy, one of the other commenters was saying that in his city, you can rent, so not a P.O. box, you can rent a physical address for mailing purposes. So it's sort of like, 100 people renting an office, but they don't go into the office. Like the person that owns it just sort of like redirects mail to wherever it should go. And I've heard of that before. They do that in Washington, D.C. So it's very, I don't like that's another way around it. But it seems like a big pain for, something that I don't know. I personally don't think the developer should have to provide the physical address.
I like one of the developers here. He says, "As an app developer, this is extremely upsetting. I have already contacted my lawyer. Additionally, I've spoken with several good friends in social media, including a little name drop. Are you ready for this? Writers
Wait.
for IGN, for Mashable, for CNET, for the Young Turks Network, and even a few CEOs of gaming companies that you'd recognize if I listed them, but
But I'm not going to.
but I won't.
Oh,
think
that
we
would just be petty of me.
I think we've name dropped enough here. There will be a hailstorm of bad PR if Google decides to do this to devs, and we are not about to take it lying down. You thought I was going to say something else. I saw you. So, yeah, I mean, and it's like you said, it's not Google's fault. It's the EU, and that's, you want to do business in the EU. It's just how it is. It's how it is.
Yeah, one option would be just to say, I don't want to sell my app in the EU, which, could be detrimental to the developer. That's a lot of lost sales potentially, but I mean that would probably really piss off the customers in the EU.
And they're making it sound like, though, and maybe I'm wrong here, but they're making it sound like as soon as Google gets your address, it's going to be posted publicly for everyone to see. Isn't this just for Google's records, or is this something that the public actually sees?
I don't think the public would actually see it. I'm pretty sure it's just for Google's record. Like if they get a letter from a lawyer that says, "Give us this person," so they can say, "Oh, here you go, sir."
Yeah. Well, they would do that anyway. I don't know. They're like, well, let's see. Where did you log into your Google account from last? I wonder if that's your address.
So from the chat room, from the knowledge there, we have a link to an Android Police article where they, they seem to have gotten an update from Google, which says that the physical address requirement will only be for paid apps and apps that have in-app purchases. So this is not going to. Well, this isn't going to do anything for like the free app or for the apps that are ad supported. So
Right.
I mean that is another option.
More and more, we're seeing all apps having in-app purchases in some fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a whole lot, Eric.
Whole lot.
Let's see. What else? Since we're talking about the Play Store and devs and stuff like that, you wanna? What are IAPs?
In-app purchases, dude.
Right?
Come
I
on,
don't
get your
I don't get acronyms like that right away.
acronyms checked. Come on.
My Acronomicon is out right now. So
I kind of like this. I like you pick up you download a free game, and it says free, and now it says in-app purchases, little thing underneath the install.
That's good.
But it would be nice, like what they're going to do, which is to say in-app purchases and then give a range, like $1 to $10. Like how much can you spend here? Because you look at some games and it's like, you could spend thousands of dollars. That's crazy.
I like that. And then you could have a little like sort function so that you would never see apps that had $10 purchases like the Final Fantasy games.
Now that is, don't even get me started on the Final Fantasy. I've burned so many times.
You'd think you'd get smarter by now, but I just
Nope.
love them so much. I just keep getting burned.
I'll get the big dummy. So I like people, like a lot of parents seem to be happy just reading through some of those comments, like because they, you have a small kid and he's like, "Mommy, Daddy, I want to download this game," and you can look at it and see potentially how much can your child, steal from your
Up
bank.
to $20. Well, sorry,
Yeah.
son. Looks like you'll have to play Dead Trigger later on your own time. Well, that's cool. And they're definitely, I mean, this is all stuff that's just, it's nice, iterative, helpful things.
Oh.
Oh,
I
what?
just
What?
something. Hold on. I may have misspoken on something in the.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's not good.
Uh-oh. Are you gonna, are we
Oh,
verifying?
that's rude.
Are you verifying sources?
I am.
Are you
So
getting called out?
no. Well, kind of.
Did
So
I-
how I said that I think only Google will have this address in the alleged back and forth that was updated in that article. I totally missed this. It says the address will be displayed to users in the App Store listing page. What the hell?
So publicly. That's what I was asking.
Publicly.
That's a little. Here's your address. But see, they're assuming that the dev it has a company and it's the company's business address, right? Not your home address, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, so we're finally going to find out where Shane Brady's bunker is in Missouri.
Right?
That's what this comes down to. That is the creepiest thing in the world. I am totally against this. What the hell?
Now he's outraged, folks. See?
I'm outraged.
Get him to
My brother's
understand,
address.
and he just, oof.
It's horrible. It's nasty.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, sorry.
So-
Sorry to bring us off track. I just that I'm blown away.
What are IAPs again?
They're in-app. Hold on. Let me
APIs?
Google it. APIs. Yes, it's.
APIs?
I think Oracle copyrighted all in-app purchases. You can't get those.
all of these APIs. Okay.
Yeah.
On top of creating our own launcher, perhaps now would be a good time to learn how to create our own kernel, or at least compile one.
For any listeners that would like to podcast at some point in the future, that is just a beautiful transition,
Best in the biz, right?
right?
So what are IAPs again? Hold on.
Oh my God.
It's a good thing we're not popular, because I would probably never hear the end of that from the internet.
Yeah, that's fine. So compile your own kernel. If you're in the creating mood, as Mr. Matt Lee is talking about, you can follow these simple instructions, again from XDA developers. It's actually pretty simple. Even compiling your own, like, Android for your phone from scratch is not as difficult as you would think.
Your own.
The difficult part is knowing what to do when you get to that step of adding features, because the kernel's a little important. Am I right?
I like to just play it safe and check all the boxes when I'm compiling kernels.
I can see why you would do that, and that's a bold strategy.
Very bold move, sir. I like where you're going.
So it's this is pretty cool. Honestly not too much. I haven't gone through these steps yet. I have compiled my own, like I've done Android before, but I've never messed with the kernel. This is kind of nice because it has, it's integrating some tools, especially if you have a Sony device. Like that's sort of what this is geared towards. So there are some tools in here for like flashing the kernel that are specific to Xperia's. But most of these steps are just, in Ubuntu, throwing out some commands, messing with some config files. So you can certainly do it, but I would probably not do it on the phone that you need to use for work or something like that.
No, you wouldn't recommend that?
No, I would not for a daily driver. No, leave your kernel by itself.
And that's, folks, that's advice you can trust, because I don't know if you know this or not, but our own Eric Finkenbeiner, he is actually a developer.
No, I'm a kernel. Thank you.
He doesn't. Oh man.
Thank you very much.
You know what's awesome? I'm seeing a lot of articles now because of the new iOS 6 and the phones, or the iPhone 6, whatever. They're bigger. Lots of articles on how to bring your Android stuff with you over to the iOS side, which is funny because I seem to recall about 6 months ago a lot of articles saying the opposite. How to take your Apple stuff, ditch them for Android. I almost feel like some of these companies here, these journalistic companies here, are almost paid to just juggle people back and forth between sides. Like walking up to them and whispering like, "Hey, that guy said your mom is fat," and then like walking up here like, "Hey, that guy said your mom is fat," and then just like watching it, except that it's all clicks.
Well, yeah, I mean, you make money from controversy. People want to read about it.
It's funny that that's transferred into like these inanimate objects. I like that.
I find it kind of interesting that Apple's, they've made an entire like knowledge base article about moving from Android to iOS.
This is important.
And I get it, because with the release of the bigger iPhones, there are some people who were getting Galaxy Notes and things like that because they wanted a bigger screen. So you'll have people moving over, but I don't know. Like I don't think that Apple ever felt like they needed to do this stuff, but now they are. So it's just kind of interesting. Like I would think that they would be pushing like, just come into the Apple Store and one of our geniuses will, magically move you to Android.
They're like, "No, you're gonna probably have to do this yourself. Otherwise, we'll have lines out the door." Oh wait.
Like this is a very Google way of doing it. It's like, install the Android file transfer application.
Right? Open up your console. We're going to go ahead and type run space. Now don't type space. We're actually just going to go ahead and press that space bar once.
Just put a space.
Run space. So is this choice or is this fragmentation? Because I'm confused.
That is the question.
I am so confused.
People, other people would call you an asshole for saying that.
We asked the chat.
Android apology.
Hey, chat. Is this fragmentation or is this choice? Because I'm confused. Okay, I'm just
waiting. Yeah. So I mean, if you
I'll wait.
A lot.
Let's wait.
Okay. Just silence.
Let's
no
just wait.
talkie.
Stare at him.
Yes. Okay. Staring at the chat.
This is powerful. Staring. All right. Sorry. So is it choice?
I kind of. I mean, I think it's.
Is it the F word?
If you go by the definition that's been spouted about Android for the past how many years, I would say that it's fragmentation.
Eric, is it the F word or is it the C word?
It's I'd say it's a little bit of both, Matt.
I'd say you're right, Eric. You are absolutely right. All right, enough of this.
It's neither. It's an IAP, which I don't know what that means.
It's an API?
It's an API.
I like that. So, okay, did we compile our kernel?
Yeah, the kernel's compiled. It's baked.
Like the kernels.
it's cooling in the windowsill.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we talked about this was kind of cool. The Android Chrome OS thing, like running the apps. Is that what this is? Are we running apps?
Yes, and it's actually the same. It's the same thing we talked about last week by the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's just updated it and given it a name, so it's no longer that thing that makes Skype work on Chrome OS. It's called Archon. Archon.
The A word. I like it.
Yeah. Not the A word. Come on, man.
It almost sounds like Archron. Like Archron job.
That probably would have been better.
Archron.
So it's using the ARC is the what is it?
App
I forgot what it stands for.
App runtime for Chrome.
Is it seriously?
Boom.
Well, let's just say that's what it is.
Now who feels stupid?
I'm taking my ball and going home.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so app runtime for Chrome, Han.
Mm-hmm. Which stands for?
Han doesn't stand for anything. Let's move past it.
Okay.
And so he has multiple versions, and the big difference between what we talked about last week and what is now is that you can install any APK. It will still probably crash. It's being described as being fast and buggy, but some things work, and I still think this is pretty awesome. He has versions for Intel stuff, for Intel-based Chromebooks, for ARM-based Chromebooks. So pretty much any Chromebook you have can run this.
I'm excited. I want to go get a Chromebook now and try this out.
You can. They're relatively cheap, so just I don't know, sell that giant bong in your studio, and you'll be good.
Whoa, what? Yeah,
Alleged. Sorry.
I will. Hey, a listener bought that. That's not like I.
Did you get that from the P.O. box?
Yeah, no, well, I broke the one that I got, and then a listener sent money to buy another one, because I'm stupid.
Oh,
anyway.
Lord.
Nexus 9? Anonymous sources saying possibly October 15th or 16th? How solid would you say these ASOs are here?
Well, I don't know. I really don't. I think that I think it would fit in the timeline. I don't know that when they say launched, like they're saying the HTC Nexus will be launched on October 15th, October 16th. I think that could also mean they'll be announced.
Announced, right, yeah. And those words are quite often interchanged in this this world.
And if you think about like back in what would it have been 2 years ago when the Nexus 10 was announced, Nexus 10 and the Nexus 4, like that was October, and it was October that it was announced, and then it was released in November because it's sort of like leading up to Christmas. So I feel like it's we're in the right zone here.
Yeah, feels good to be in the zone.
I'll bet it does.
Not Nexus 9, but also Android L, possibly November 1st.
And that's another one too that if you think about it, they talked about that at I/O.
All right. Yeah.
We've been kicking around alpha versions of that for quite a long time, and so that also lines up. Like I think this is going to happen. The sources are probably, I could have been an anonymous source on this and said, hey, it's going to launch in October.
Hey,
all signs point to yes.
If you be my source, I'll be your source.
Perfect.
Of course.
So Attack of the Androids is announcing that 2 anonymous sources
have confirmed
that it's going to happen, and 2 plus the other 2 is 4 plus the other guy. So that's 5 sources.
Do 5 unconfirmed anonymous sources equal like 1.5 legit confirmed John Doe. I mean,
I didn't go to J school, but I think that's accurate. It's a 5-to-1 ratio, so we have one confirmed source. If you just take all the partial confirmations and put them together.
I just want to also, because these are always fun, just do a little. There we go. I want you to see this here. There we go.
Oh, perfect.
For you.
Stop looking at me when I'm taking off my shirt.
I'm not even gonna try a Herbert now because it'll be nowhere near as good as your.
So what do you think about this? The whole like HTC Nexus 9. You said last show that you'd given away your Nexus 10. Is that true?
Oh yeah, I gave it to my roommate. Well, I kind of sold it. I bartered it, getting into the spirit for this barter fair we're going to in a couple weeks. I traded it to him for it.
Oh, okay.
He likes it, but he's never had a tablet before. And the S4, I think, was his first Android experience.
No, so this is probably much better.
Yeah, he likes it, definitely. And he doesn't know how laggy and slow it is because he doesn't,
He doesn't
No
know what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Just as
Would you go for this? Obviously not having seen it, but just the idea of like a Nexus tablet. We know what that build quality is typically like. Would you go for an HTC Nexus tablet? Would you go for something else like the Nvidia Shield or a Nexus 7?
The Shield is kind of cool. I mean, just because I like playing a lot of games and everything. But I don't know, if I had to get another tablet, is this 9 going to be a 9-inch? Because I like the 10-inch tablet form factor. I don't know.
I think it is going to be a 9-inch based off the leaks that we've seen.
9 is an odd number. That's probably not gonna work with my OCD. See, same reason I didn't get an Nexus 7. If it was an 8 or a 6, now we're talking. 7 though, I don't know.
Well, that's sad. So that 1 inch is going to bother you enough that you would probably opt for something else.
Not just 1 inch. It's a whole world of dissymmetrical nonsense.
No, if you think about it, it's 3 threes. So like that's pretty beautiful.
I do like 3s.
3 threes.
As non-symmetrical as they are, because you can take 2 of them and make a 6. And as we all know, if never mind.
Yeah.
Do you have any apps that you've been digging lately? Any app picks, perhaps?
I don't have an app pick per se, but I will throw out there that something I've talked about before that was my app pick, which is the Google Survey app.
Oh yeah. How much have you retired yet off of your survey money?
I have not, you giant dick, but
Is it enough to buy Goat Simulator at least?
I am close, actually. So it's called Google Opinion Awards, and I've spent money from this before. It used to be that you would see one opinion like thing maybe every month or 2 months. I'm getting them on like a weekly basis now, and granted it's only like maybe between 20 cents and 70 cents, but like that adds up. It's stupid crap. Like, if you look at the example, when do you plan to buy your next car? Never. This year, next year. So you answer a couple of questions.
Never.
You get money. It's fine if you don't mind giving them your answers.
Right. It's information. Did you see this? You remember the Dolphin browser? I don't know if we've mentioned it.
Oh my God.
Not recently, but do you remember Dolphin browser?
I do.
Anyway, there's some issues with that. A URL forwarding issue. And people are kind of thinking that this going to be the start of some browser problems, perhaps? We heard about the security vulnerability in the browser that was AOSP browser. Remember? Okay. And now this one, granted, 2 out of a whole bunch is, still not bad. But if it's something they all use. You know, if it's that piece of code they all shared to do something. Yeah.
So what is this? What is this actually doing?
It says that it doesn't happen all the time, but if you switch your tablet or phone to airplane mode and then type like something like Best Buy or whatever into the address bar, you see an error informing you that the address can't be found. And they said it's hard to catch, but if you keep refreshing, you see the address in the URL bar. And you know what that address is?
Is that the nsgnav.com address?
Navigation.nsd.net, right? So, and that's kind of weird, right? And then they say, after that, you're redirected to namespacestrategy.com, which is all about click-through for brands. Okay. And what they do, they say when a consumer types non-DNS queries such as Amazon shoes or Amazon with two Z's and an A, right, like a misspelling, or
Sure.
.cm rather than com, right, like a misspelling, DNS syntax error or whatever. In the address bar, our ISP partner directly navigates the consumer to the brand's website via namespace direct navigation.
So these people are basically, like it's like man in the middle. They're intercepting your traffic.
They're tap jacking. Yeah, basically.
And I'm guessing that this is for, probably money. Like Dolphin's probably getting money for this.
Yeah. They say at the moment it's not a dominant issue, but they're seeing a lot more of this questionable behavior on these free mobile apps. And, people should maybe keep an eye on it. You never know. They say companies can't continue to pump out free apps and expect to keep the lights on. To that end, other businesses could easily take advantage of these precarious situations and offer solutions that might, on the surface, be harmless. However, what is now a URL or search string forwarder could later on become a hijacker that would demand you view ads or sign up for services before you can get redirected to the proper site. And I mean, a classic example is when you go to a hotel, right? The second you pop on their Wi-Fi, you go to Google or whatever, you get redirected to their page. And it's like you have to click this and give them this and whatever you have to do.
And that's always a great experience. Nobody's ever had problems with that. So.
Oh, ever. Never.
Great.
For sure.
Well, that's pretty messed up.
Take that and attach, send it to a malicious site that auto-downloads a malware payload or an exploit or whatever, which then gets its payload, and then all your base. Yours and Home Depot's, right?
If you think about it, like Chrome does a lot of the same stuff too. Like they're keeping track of where we go. That's the whole reason.
For sure.
I think like the thing that bothers me most though is that this is not transparent at all to the users.
If I type in google.cpm, Chrome isn't redirecting me to whoever paid them the most for that string, though, right? Like, isn't that what the deal is here? These brands are paying them to get that misspelling traffic because 80% of people can't freaking spell to save their lives. That's probably a lucrative business, considering.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, Google. A lot of us are probably running the Google DNS. Like they're capturing our traffic, and that's not worth nothing. Like this gives them really good information about how to make their business better and make more money.
It's signals.
It's signals. I hate that.
Don't get me wrong, this isn't a cry for users to drop the Dolphin browser and look for another solution. What it is, however, is a call for end users to be cautious and on the lookout for this kind of suspicious behavior, and for app developers to work with a level of transparency they may not be accustomed to. So, and I kind of agree with that. You gotta, if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, you should at least be upfront about it and be like, here's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else before we wrap this up?
I don't have anything.
Wrap it down. All right. Well, hey, what's our email address? Do you have that?
I do. Our email address is show@attackoftheandroids.com.
Said that kind of quick. You should maybe pull out a piece of paper next time and pretend like you're reading off it. I think it would feel more reliable.
Chris Griffin voice maybe. Our address is show@attackoftheandroids.com.
Very good.
Is that better?
I like
Slower.
it. I like it, and I like your show notes. I like them a lot. Thinking about hiring you to do the Jamhole show notes. You do such a great job.
Oh,
And
yeah, we have to renegotiate that contract.
Hold on, this money's gonna have to start going the other way here. Hold on. I posted the show we did last night, and good God, it must have been like an hour and a half to go through and it's so time consuming. Podcasting is very time consuming, people.
Go look at show notes from other shows. Like,
They're
some would call
crap.
this too much information, but we call it comprehensive.
They're such garbage. I like being able to just search for something and have it pop up.
Yep.
And I don't know.
Tag the hell out of it.
I don't sleep well at night knowing that my show notes aren't complete. Basically, transcript. A commentary transcript for each episode is
That
what
will never happen.
I mean, that's what we're doing basically.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it sometimes.
Minus the transcript part. Where I listen and then comment and then. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you next week, and then that'll be it because I'm going on vacation for a week. So.
To the barter fair.
To Tinasket, Washington. If you're in that area, you should come barter. All right. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.